So the very first thing we're going to do on our paper is make something called a vanishing point. And this is where all the lines seem to disappear. About the middle of the paper, and you can have your paper this direction or this direction, you're going to make a dot. And along that dot, you're going to make something called a horizon line. Horizon line is just that, it is a horizontal line. Take your pencil and use it right against that ruler or straight edge to make a nice straight line across your paper. And then you're going to use that vanishing point, line it up with the edge of the paper toward the bottom corner. So make sure the dot, the vanishing point, touches the ruler, and then line it up with the corner. So the ruler should be touching the vanishing point and the corner of the paper. Hold it with one hand, make sure it's not going to move, and then take your pencil and run your pencil right along the edge of the ruler to make a straight line down, diagonal. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Line your ruler up with the vanishing point and with the edge of the paper. Line it up before you draw. Hold it down, then drag your pencil alongside of the ruler to make a straight line, also diagonal, so it should kind of look like a triangle. So for our road that we're making today, whatever is closer to the vanishing point back here is going to be very, very small. So I'm going to be making the lines of the road, and usually you see dashed lines, and they're going to be really, really small using your ruler, but then they're going to gradually get larger as they come down the paper and as they get closer to us. So this is going to make it seem like it is getting closer to me, and this back here is getting further away. You're going to use that same concept, the idea that things are very small the further away they are from us, on the next part. So the next part, what I'm going to do is we're going to try to make some trees. And you can do pine trees or like maple trees, it's up to you. I'm going to start way back here and start making the trunk of my tree, and I'm going to do this on both sides. And you're going to make it pretty small. These are going to be really small trees. Then, as the trees come down, they get closer to us, so they're going to be larger. You can make branches. You'll see a little bit more detail. Erase that line. Do the same thing on the other side. And the trees down here, our last set of trees, these are going to be the largest because this is going to seem like it's closer to us. And you will see more detail because it is up close. So if you want to add leaves in, you can add leaves in. You can be like an apple tree, you can add apples. You can add a bird in it. It's up to you, but these are going to be much larger. And do the same thing on the other side. And we do not want that horizon line going directly through our tree. After you guys are finished with your trees, then you're going to use that same concept of space and distance using buildings. Okay, so I'm also going to be making some buildings along the horizon line. So how we do that, well, first of all, the buildings way back here are going to be pretty small. And you can use this with rectangles and squares and fill up the horizon line. I'm just going to pretend that there's a city back here in the distance. You can also add mountains way back here. You can add smoke. Okay, I'm going to be adding some mountains. If you want to continue your city, you can. And the mountains are going to go behind the tree, not in front of it. And the same thing when you make your buildings. Buildings along the street are going to be small. And then as you get closer to us, they're going to be a little bit larger. And I'm going to be making a little house right here. Okay, and if I make a building right here, I'm actually going to make this pretty tall. And I'll have to go back and erase some of my mountains because now the building is in front of it. So I want you guys to work on this for a while, really make it your own, make it unique. You can add windows to your buildings, doors. But our goal here is to try to make space and distance between objects. So we're making it look as it appears that these things way back here are further away than these buildings that are closer to us down here. So I'm going to give you guys some time to work on that and add anything you want. You can add people, you can add a bench, you can add a sidewalk, but always keep in mind that whatever you put way back here is going to be a lot smaller. You can also add cars or anything on the street. If you make a car, it's going to be really small back here, right here about medium size, and if you make a car here, it's going to be much, much larger. So this is what we're going to be working on today. We're not going to be adding color on this today. We're not going to have time for that. We're just going to be using our pencil to fill in our whole landscape. And then if you would like to add clouds in the sky, you can add that. You can add a hot air balloon. You can add planes flying. I'm going to let you guys kind of create your own. And then next time you come back to art class, you will need colored pencil because we're going to be filling in the colors for our 1-point perspective.